Pookie.
Hi, Mom.
So, Pookie, you've had some issues over the last, I'm going to say, 6 months or so in which you needed to get some help for mental health issues. So, I want to talk to you about that. Sound good? Okay. So, my first question is, Allie, how did you know that you weren't doing well and that you needed to get some help?
I think toward the end of August, like school was about to start, and I kind of noticed some like mental health warning signs.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to call them like where I could kind of feel some negative thoughts creeping in, and just like one at a time, maybe like once a week. And I would notice them and then I'd dismiss them and try to carry on with my day, but I'd be mindful that it happened, and then it started to get a little bit more frequent. And it was bizarre. Like, I remember thinking, like, why is this happening now? Because school was about to start and I was super excited and I was nervous, which is normal, but I was like, why am I getting like sad and depressing thoughts when I should be just excited and like preparing for school and like I can't wait to start?
What was unusual about the negative thoughts? How did you know that it was unusual?
All summer I had been feeling really good, and I was like, I'm getting stuff done. I'm going to be going to university, and it was very rare, if ever, that I had a negative thought. Like, it was just all happy. Like, I felt good, was doing well. I was like sort of active, and like things were really good, and then it started to get negative sometimes, and then it was negative more often. It's kind of creeping in, and I remember thinking, like, this is probably seasonal depression kind of making an appearance.
Yeah. What can you give me an example of a negative thought?
It could be described as, like, you could say, like, passively suicidal thoughts. Like I have no reason to be pursuing school anyway, or like my body doesn't look right. Like, I'm gonna be going to school and I don't even look right, and I'm not smart enough to be going to school. I'm never gonna be happy. I'm not happy in my relationship, or like, you could, like, just generally negative thoughts.
Sounds like almost hopeless.
Yeah.
At times.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it went from like, I don't feel good today, which is a negative thought, or thought about something negative, I guess, to there's no hope, there's no point. Okay. And so at first these things happened, but you didn't get help right away. What kind of things got in the way?
Time. Like, I was concerned about if I went and got help now, what are they gonna need me to do later that's gonna take up time? Like, I'm not gonna have time for school, and I need to have time for school. So, like, will the doctor want to see me? Will I have time for that? And a big factor for me was also money. Like, are they gonna ask me to take something expensive, like expensive medication? Am I gonna have to go to expensive therapy? Like, I'm gonna be living off of student loans, and like, I don't know anything about benefits. Like, I think that was one fear, a couple fears, and then there was also, will I need it? Like, can I just push through it? Like, am I going to be able to make it through, like, these next couple semesters in the winter, just by scraping by? Because I can dismiss the thoughts now. I can probably dismiss the thoughts later,
I see. So it sounds like you were already anxious and worried about time, money, going into school, huge changes that were already happening, and this just compounded that. It's like, well, I'm already worried that I don't have enough time. How can I fit appointments in? I'm already worried that I don't have enough money. What if the treatments cost money? you know, so you just kind of avoided it and hoped that maybe things would go away, or that you'd be able to just kind of handle the negative. Like, who are you to want to go to school?
Yeah, I'm going to school anyway.
I'll just push through. I'll just push through.
Yeah.
So what kind of strategies and supports did you put in place so that you could actually overcome those worries and fears and hopes that it would just go away if you avoided it? What changed?
The strategies that I figured would make me get through it would probably have been like, I'll keep my friends close. Like, I'll keep my close connections. My, you know, I'll make friends and I'll keep them by my side and connect with you guys. Like, I was like, I'm gonna open up to you about feeling depressed, and you know, I opened up to my boyfriend at the time about it, and I thought, you know, all I need is social support, and I need to eat enough. And that was another thing. I was like, I'm gonna eat enough calories to keep me happy. But yeah, I think that was like my plan. I also I got in touch with a doctor, but not until about halfway through the semester.
So you put it off for a while, and then eventually you decided, okay, I need to get some help. What was your first step?
It was to see the doctor. It was already kind of like a hump I had to get over because I had just moved and I needed to like reintroduce myself as a patient. So I found the closest doctor and I said I need a female doctor. And so they booked me in with her, and when I saw her, I gave her the full rundown, like about my past, or like my past with mental health, and this is why I'm here, this is what's going on with me. And she wanted to introduce me to a different medication from before, and she gave me a whole explanation about kind of depression that can impair your focus, and like it felt like a really good first step. Very solid, and she was great, and I felt good. I was like, oh, this is a good connection to have. Yeah, so that was my first step.
You started on medication. What kept you going? Because you went further than that. You pursued more help than that. How did you know to keep going?
Well, I started the medication, and it was good at first, but then life kind of got harder. Like, I needed to, you know, the thoughts were coming back. Like, the negative thoughts were coming back, and I needed to kind of take an extra step, it felt like. So I while continuing on my medication, I spoke to you and then filled out a self-referral form for therapy, because I, you know, like, it's good to have my like mental chemicals balancing out, but it's also important to have someone that I can talk to, and like someone unbiased who knows their stuff. Yeah. So I figured that would be the next step.
Yeah. You and I talked quite a bit about finding the right fit with a therapist, and how that can take a lot of energy and a lot of work. And sometimes we talk ourselves out of doing that work too, right? Like, a lot of people will go to a therapist and say, well, it's not really helping, but at least I tried, and they'll just stop. Can you give listeners a word of advice when it comes to finding the right fit?
Yes.
Okay.
I do have words of advice.
Okay.
Finding the right fit for a counselor or therapist, I think you have to find someone who you can feel friendly with. Like, you want it to feel kind of equal. Because I've been around counselors or therapists who kind of like, there's just this, they don't say like, I know more than you, but you kind of have this like weird off balance thing, and you don't feel 100% comfortable around them. where I found the best help in with therapists who can talk to me like, you know, I know my stuff, like I know my own stuff about myself, and you know how to pull it all together into, you know, I I don't know. I'm struggling with how to explain it. Like, I want to work together with a therapist. I don't want to be worked on by a therapist.
Oh, that's a really good way to put
Yeah.
it. And you know the feeling.
Totally. Yeah, like I'm it's hard to describe the feeling, but it should feel, you should feel good walking out of an appointment with your therapist, not like kind of incomplete. Like like every time I left from meeting with the wrong therapist, I just feel like, God, that didn't, like, I just feel like super lame.
Yeah.
Like I feel unhelpable.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I feel like I'm hard to reach. Like we can't reach a conclusion together. But with the right therapist, it's like, okay, we're getting somewhere. Like I feel like I can really dig in with this person. I guess
that's a good way to put it. So if you don't feel like there's a rapport or that you're getting somewhere, then it's worth speaking up and trying something different.
Yeah.
Okay. That's good to know. Okay. So, what words of advice would you have for people? Like, you know yourself really well, and you've been through the cycle many times, and you've learned a lot about you. You know what to ask for, even. I mean, we talked about this before, and you said, like, I'm a dream client. I know how to say. You are, though, but you know how to say what you need.
Yeah.
You know how to ask for it. A lot of people don't. So, and you didn't for a long time. So when you think back to you years ago and the people who are just starting out on this journey and they don't know what's going on necessarily, and they haven't been through a cycle, and they don't know the pattern, and they don't know what to ask for, what words of advice do you have for them?
I would say, you know, it's not normal to like always feel crappy. Like it shouldn't feel like just a fight every day.
Yeah.
You know, you should, you know, it's normal to have some bad days, but it shouldn't be every single day. And I think this is your opportunity to prove to yourself that you can get out of it. You know, take the steps, prove to yourself that you can handle your shit.
Yeah.
Sorry for my language, but like you can handle it, and it gets better. You know, like I think.
Do you promise?
Yeah. I promise it gets better. I think your relationship with yourself is the most important and the most consistent one that you're ever gonna have. So this is your opportunity to prove to yourself that you got your own back.
I like it. So they don't have to feel this way. It can be better. It's not normal to feel shitty every day. And you're your own best advocate, and you need to start learning it now. That's what I'm getting from what you say.
Yeah.
You're a genius.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you for having the chat.
Thanks for having a chat as well.
You're welcome.